always remember that night when you told me you didn't have a leash that could hold me.
Thank you so much for doing this interview with me, and my apologies that we are not doing this in person. I know you got a busy schedule. I've been having a crazy schedule, but I'm glad we had a chance to talk, and I got to say straight off the bat, congratulations on the new single. How does it feel having a song out there that people are really connecting with, and who knows, could be one of those songs of the summer?
It's been crazy. I can't believe the response that it's gotten, even from, some of my female friends. They've sent me so many, like little Snapchats of them singing along to it and like really connecting to it. And I've cried so many times already. I can't even tell you.
Yeah, no, I don't usually jump in immediately on this, but I'm going to do that with this one because this is a real personal song for you, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
And you can explain because it's basically something that you went through, and in a lot of ways, people say that music can be therapy. It's kind of like the same way, I think.
It's very true. The situation that the song talks about, it happened a few years back, but there's the aspect of it that really stuck with me is, and you hear it in the first couple lines. My ex that I was with at the time, he said to me at one point, he's like, you know what, Gabby, I can't seem to be able to put a leash on you. And it really stuck with me. It kind of rubbed me the wrong way. And so, it's fine. The situation with him is fine now, but there was always something about that relationship that stuck with me and made me feel like maybe there's certain parts of my personality that are maybe I'm too aggressive sometimes, maybe I'm too loud, too outspoken. And it did kind of stem a lot from that relationship. And just in recent years, I've been kind of embracing those parts of myself and realizing that actually those are some of the aspects of me that I like the most. And so putting that in a song and just being able to express it so exactly how I want it to be expressed it feels like such a relief. I co-wrote it with Rob Wells and Shoba, and from the get-go we were all on the same page about it, and that's how I think we were able to make something that's so exactly what I wanted it to be. So I'm really, really happy about it.
'Cause I like all my crazy, yeah. Try but you can't make me, no you can't make me, yeah. You can't dim my light, 'cause it's much too bright. Turns out you were right, oh yeah.
Like, what have people said to you about the single once they've heard it?
They specifically one of my friends that it really moved me is the fact that she said to me, I listened to the song, and the first time listening to it, I was like, oh, this is super, like, I can dance to it, it's catchy. And then I took the time to listen to the lyrics, and it really, she was going through a similar situation. And in the way that, she's also a creative, and she's trying out there, she's trying to do her own thing. And it requires her to be exactly those things. She needs to be outspoken and like a go-getter, and it's not a negative thing. But she was with someone who literally told her, like, sometimes you're a bit much. Like, sometimes you're a little too gangster, too this and too that. And she's like, I just cut him off immediately because it's not who I want around me. And to hear her relate to that part of it it makes me feel like I'm not alone as well. And it's nice that she felt the same. And the fact that the song expressed something that she could relate to is just amazing.
Love hearing that. Absolutely love hearing that. I want to get a little bit too in, you getting into this music business because you're a Toronto resident, but you were born on the other side of the world and you kind of traveled before you got here.
Yes. Yeah. I was born in Bulgaria. And then my family and I moved to London, England when I was about 9. And then we moved to Canada, to the west coast, to Vancouver. when I was about 15. And I thought I was done moving. Like, I was sick of it. I'm like, I've left enough people behind. Like, all my family's scattered across the world. My friends, like, I'm done. I'm gonna, like, start, grow roots here. And I thought I was finished. And then last year in 2017, I went to CMW for the first time in Toronto. And I was here for 2 weeks. And I can't tell you, I just fell in love immediately. And there were so many things that happened that were just like, to me were just signs, like very, very obvious. It wasn't even a nudge. It was just like a slap in the face. It was like, what are you doing not being here? Like, and so I went back home, talked to my boyfriend. He's like, let's move next month. We did it, and we're here now.
Good for him. So glad to hear that. But traveling around and growing up the way you did, what did that do for you musically?
Musically, it makes, I don't know, I think maybe it was that. It makes me like a whole bunch of different genres. And I think you can hear it even specifically in the new song. There's a lot of that Eastern influence. I grew up listening to, obviously, like Bulgarian pop folk and stuff, and I actually got asked once, how come this song has a Latin influence if you're from Bulgaria, which I find really interesting, because actually in Bulgaria, that pop folk vibe is very, very similar to like the Latin vibe. So it's like that beat of, it's kind of like that.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I grew up listening to. So it's not very much that it's a Latin thing, but it's the Eastern influence. And those, those bass lines that are happening. So that's something that is definitely in my music. And like that real. Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I keep jumping in. You just mentioned you have another new single out?
No, it's. I'm talking about You Are Right. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Jumping ahead of myself, though. But when did you decide? Like, when did you know that this was what you wanted to do?
I've always known that I've loved it. It was just a matter of, was it realistic? And it wasn't until we moved to Canada that it really seemed like something plausible, even for a minute, because, being in an immigrant family, my parents, like, in no way am I saying that we didn't have a good life. My parents built a wonderful life for us, but there's certain opportunities that maybe weren't necessarily realistic as we were moving along these different countries. And then when we moved here, and it felt like everything was settled, and I joined the band in high school, and it was then that I kind of realized this is a possibility. So I've always known I've loved it, but it wasn't until I was about maybe 16, 17 that I thought, okay, I'm gonna really try and do this because I can.
When did things really start together, like coming up with your team and having a record label? When did that all happen?
Well, I'm actually still independent, but I'm lucky enough to have a really amazing team of people around me. Like I have my manager and, the PR team and the radio team, and that all came about once I moved to Toronto. So really within the last year and a bit.
So it really sounds like CMW was almost like the birth of your career.
In a way, yeah. I had released a few singles as a solo artist prior to that, but yeah, really once I moved here, just everything fell into place, and it's amazing how when you're in the right place with the right people, it just flows.
Okay, so what are the chances and what's going to happen? Is there going to be new music coming out also?
Oh, for sure, yeah. So since I moved to Toronto last year, it's just been a whole bunch of writing. And it felt like You Are Right was the perfect sort of reintroduction to all of that. And then around the summertime, we're planning the EP, so I'm really excited about it.
Well, I'm going to tell you straight up, after hearing your first single and that voice of yours, I can't wait to hear and see what you're going to be coming up next. Any chance you might be doing some shows anytime throughout 2018, or are you going to save it for next year?
Definitely in the fall, we're looking at doing some shows, either a little radio tour or like a proper tour. Nothing's been confirmed yet, but it's all getting solidified. So I'm so excited. I love touring. I love playing shows. So.
One last question, though, because you have a perfect example of somebody following their dreams. For anybody else out there who's trying to follow their dreams, whether it be on stage or whether it be in sports, whatever it is, what can you say to them that, you know, when the dark times come, there's always going to be a light on the other end?
I think everything comes in waves. There's always dry periods where you have nothing. You know, it seems like, oh my goodness, I'm not getting any shows. Seems like I'm not releasing any music. But you always have to push through that, because once that low is done, it's right around the corner. There's all the good stuff. Like, everything comes in waves. So just push through the silent times, and then all of the good things are going to come at once. It's always
Hear to that.
Anyway.
Hear to that. Social media, where do we go to follow you?
So you can find me at Gabby Geneva on Instagram and Twitter, and then GabrielaGeneva.com for all of the other stuff, like shows coming up and new music, all of that.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for doing this interview. Hopefully the next time we get a chance to talk again, it'll be in person for new music, EP, album, or who knows, even red carpets.
Hey, fingers crossed. Thank you so much for having me.
No, thank you so much. Take care and have a great day.
You too.
Bye-bye.